Hello, I'm going to show you how to make this great solid granny square. It looks beautiful, both sides of the work. We will start work into the magic circle. So make your magic circle first. And we're going to make 8 single crochet stitches into that magic circle. Most of the square is made using half a double stitches, but the very first base row we're just using single crochet stitches. So once you've made your 8 stitches, close your circle. And once you've done that, we're going to slip stitch into the very first stitch to just join this round, and that's the round 1 complete. Now let's chain 2, which will be our first half a double crochet, and we'll make another half a double crochet into the same stitch. And you need to make another one into the same stitch. So we've got 3 in there. And now move on to the next stitch where we'll make 1 half a double crochet. Then move on to the next stitch where we'll make 4 half a double crochet stitches, and this will become the corner space. So once you've made your 4 half doubles, you will move on to the next stitch, and next stitch will be the side. So we're going to make just 1 half double crochet there, and then the following stitch will be a corner again, and we will make 4 half double crochet stitches into that one stitch. Made you 4. Now the next stitch will have 1 half a double crochet in, and then we'll make another corner. That means 4 half double crochet stitches into that stitch. The stitch after that will have 1 half double crochet, and you have now got back to your chain 2, which we're counting as a half a double, but you only did 3 stitches into that first base, so we'll just add 1 more into that very first stitch, and we will close this round with a slip stitch on the top of that first chain 2 you made, and that's round 2 completed. Now let's get some stitch markers and mark these corners, because it's a lot easier to work once you have your corners marked, so you know where your stitches need to be made. Just go and find the ones where you have 4 in one space, and put the stitch marker between the second and the third stitch in those spaces. In this very first corner, you will have that chain as well in there, so your stitch marker will go after the chain and before the first half a double crochet what you made, and that's the corner space. Let's move on to the next round. We are now going to slip stitch into the very first corner space, just in between the stitches there, and let's chain 2, and that chain 2 again will count as a half a double crochet. We are now going to make another half a double crochet into that same space, and that is what we're doing for corners for this round. So instead of making 4 stitches in the corners, we're only going to make 2 for this round. So you can move your stitch marker up into the next rounds. Next stitch will be made between the next half a double and the half a double crochet following it. So you're not working into the stitches like you would normally in crochet, you're working in between the spaces of the posts. So just go in between the 2 stitches of the last round and make your half a double crochet, and just do that until you get to the next corner, which is marked with a stitch marker. Just go in between the 2 stitches and make half a double crochet stitches until you get to the corner. Again, in the corner we are going to make 2 half double crochet stitches. There's no change in between anything because we're making a solid granny square, so there'll be no gaps anywhere. You just have to move your marker up so that you know where your corner space is. Once you've done that, you carry on again in between the previous stitches from the row below. Just keep making your half a double crochet stitches, one into every gap until you get to your next marker, and the next marker will have 2 half a double crochet stitches made into it. So once you've done those two, again you can just get this stitch marker and move it up to the next row so you know where your next corner will be made. Do this all the way around until you get back to where you started with your first corner. When you get back, we're going to slip stitch on the top of that beginning chain 2, just to close this round up. And you'll notice that your square is getting a little bit rounded in the corners. Don't worry about that. That will be sorted out in the next round. So this is where your corner is now. Take the stitch marker out if you want and go straight into that corner and make a slip stitch. Now this row, sorry, round, we are going to make 4 half a double crochet stitches into each corner. So make your chain 2 followed by 2 half a double crochet stitches, and you know that your corner space will be just after the chain because you're going to make your 4th stitch in that space when you're coming back around from the other end. And then again, just into the spaces, just 1 half a double crochet into each space between the stitches from the round below. It's nice and tight texture for this granny square. When you get to the corner, again, you can remove your marker if it's in the way, or you can just work with it being in there and make 4 half double crochet stitches all into that one space, no change or anything. And then make sure you add your marker back to the middle of these stitches, so between the second and the third one, and then just carry on working all the way around until you get back to your first corner where you started from. Here we go, we're back at the first corner, so we need to add 1 more stitch before we finish off because we need 4 in the corners and we had 3 there. And then we're going to slip stitch on the top of that beginning chain 2, and now you can see that your work has squared up nicely. It's not rounded anymore. So the next round though, we are going to do 2 into the corners again because you don't want to increase it too quickly because it will become floppy. So do your chain 2 and then just 1 half double crochet and put your stitch marker in that space, in the corner space, and then just carry on working like you did before and making 1 half a double crochet in between all the stitches, not into the stitches but just in between. And then you get to your next corner, which is marked with stitch marker. You then make 2 half a double crochet stitches in there, and then again like we did before, so that's easier for you to work. Just get your stitch marker and move it up so you know where you need to go when you're coming back around the next round. So this is what we will be doing for this pattern. Every other corner will have 4, and then the following corner will have 2 stitches in the corners. So you're doing sort of like a gradual increase so your work doesn't become floppy, but it will be still square. When you finish the last round, I would suggest you finish with 4 in the corners just to make it nice and square. I think this square looks great from both sides. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.